Section 1 of Starved Rock, a Historical Sketch. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Veronica Jenkins. Starved Rock, a Historical Sketch by Eaton G. Osman. Section 1. Preface and Introductory. Preface. Francis Parkman's La Salle and the Discovery of the Great West must be hereafter the basis of any repetition of the story of the discovery and settlement of the Illinois River Valley. That I have in this little sketch availed myself of the results of Dr. Parkman's labors will be apparent to every reader of his delightful volumes. I the more readily acknowledge this indebtedness in view of the fact that even before he had himself stood upon Starved Rock, his studies of the original authorities had led to his rejection of the supposition of Sparks and others that it was Buffalo Rock which was the site of La Salle's famous Rock Fort. Dr. Parkman established beyond question from documents contemporary with La Salle, corroborating this conclusion of the student of manuscripts by subsequent personal observations, on the ground that Starved Rock was the true site of the ancient Fort St. Louis, around which was planted the first permanent settlement of the white race in the Mississippi Valley, thus giving to Starved Rock a prestige historically equal to the fame it has ever had as a unique landmark of the Great West. I have not attempted here to rewrite the history of the Illinois country, but simply to bring together in one place such authenticated facts relating to Starved Rock, scattered through many volumes, as may assist in giving the rock its proper perspective on the canvas of Western and our national history, as well as interest the thousands of strangers who annually visit this beautiful and interesting spot. Introductory. Here by this stream in days of old the red men lived who lie in mold. The leaves that once their history knew their crumbling pages hide from view. I have stood upon Starved Rock and gazed for hours upon the beautiful landscape spread out before me, said the late Justice Sidney Breese. The undulating plains, rich in their verdure, the rounded hills beyond, clad in their forest livery, and the gentle river pursuing its noiseless way to the Mississippi and the Gulf, all in harmonious association, make up a picture over which the eye delights to linger, and when to these are added the recollections of the heroic adventurers who first occupied it, that here the banner of France so many years floated freely in the winds, that here was civilization while all around was barbaric darkness, the most intense and varied emotions cannot fail to be awakened. Starved Rock is one of the most noted natural curiosities of the West. Once an arm of the bluff which here bounds the Illinois River Valley on the south, it now stands alone, an isolated sandstone cliff, whose walls, carved into form by the floods of countless generations, rise 125 feet above the level of the river. Circular in form, the summit of the rock contains about half an acre of land, which is well covered with a growth of evergreens and scrub oaks, while its sides are draped with vines and ferns, wild flowers and cedars, and below the river calmly flows. The summit is accessible only from the south, where the flood eddies have heaped up the sands against the base. Nature's helping hand has been supplemented by man, both savage and civilized, who has carved rude steps in the rock and converted a mere hint for a climbing pathway to the top into a practicable ascent. Starved Rock stands apart, like a moss-grown and ivy-clad battle tower of medieval ages. It is a nature-made citadel, as impregnable to assault as Gibraltar. Like many a feudal refuge, it has survived the attacks alike of war and time, and today stands a monument to brave men and their vanished dreams of political power and commercial aggrandizement. From the summit, the valley of the Illinois for miles lies spread out before the eye as an open
Sample complete. Ready to continue?